The lungs, the heart, and their blood vessels are located in the thoracic cavity. The heart functions as two side-by-side pumps, each with valves that maintain one-way blood flow. The right side of the heart, composed of the right atrium and right ventricle, receives oxygen-poor blood from the body and sends it to the lungs to be reoxygenated. The left side of the heart is formed by the left ventricle and left atrium. It receives the reoxygenated blood from the lungs and directs it into the systemic circulation for distribution to the body. Venous blood from the systemic circulation returns to the heart by entering the right atrium via the inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. Blood from the muscular walls of the heart also enters the right atrium via the coronary sinus. The right atrium is distinct in that its anterior and posterior walls are different. While the posterior wall is smooth, its anterior wall has ridges formed by pectinate muscles and has an outpouching called the auricle. Blood moves from the right atrium into the right ventricle. These two chambers are separated by the right atrioventricular valve, which is also known as the tricuspid valve. Movement of the three flaps of the right atrioventricular valve is controlled by chordae tendineae and their papillary muscles. The rough walls of the right ventricle are created by muscular trabeculae carneae. Contraction of the right ventricle causes blood to push open the semilunar cusps of the pulmonary valve and enter the pulmonary trunk. The pulmonary trunk divides into right and left pulmonary arteries for distribution to the lungs for oxygenation. Pulmonary veins return oxygen-rich blood to the left atrium. The wall of the left atrium is smooth and, like the right atrium, has an auricle. Blood moves from the left atrium into the left ventricle. These two chambers are separated by the left atrioventricular valve, which is also called the bicuspid or mitral valve. Movement of the two flaps of the left atrioventricular valve, like the right atrioventricular valve, is controlled by chordae tendineae and their papillary muscles. The semilunar cusps of the aortic valve control the opening to the ascending aorta. Contraction of the left ventricle causes blood to push open the cusps of the aortic valve. Blood then enters the ascending part of the aorta. Branches of the aorta distribute oxygenated blood to the heart and body. The combination of strong muscular walls, one-way valves, and a precisely timed sequence of contraction allow the heart to support